Don't you wanna stay? Have a glass of lemonade. Talking business, chilling in the shade.
Welcome to Baddie with Business. I'm your host, Malliron Hodge. This season, season 8, we are talking to a few of our incredible speakers that you can expect to see at the 2026 Baddies with Business retreat. Learn and grow as we talk about how being a baddie and business go hand in hand. Enjoy. Welcome, baddies, to our final episode of season 8. What a joy. We have learned all about some of our incredible speakers that will be gracing us with their presence at the 2026 Baddies with Business Retreat and Community Bazaar. If you haven't got your tickets yet, get your tickets. Okay, so I'm excited for this final episode because we spent the first 20 minutes before we even hit record having a joyous conversation. So I'm so excited. So without further ado, Baddie, can you tell a little bit about yourself? Don't get into your business yet, but just a little bit about yourself for the Baddie and community family.
All right. Hello. And thank you so much, Malliron, for having me. I am so excited to be here on the podcast. I am Jamila Weathers. I am the Scorpio diva here in Baltimore, Maryland. I have 3 sons. Been married for 16 years. Work for the federales, aka federal government. And I really am in a season now of enjoying my life and being my whole ass self. Yeah, that's pretty much, I'm over 40, honey, but still fine and fabulous and never mistaken that. And I just enjoy so much of having conversations like this with other Black women that get it. And also being able to express and have their real and raw conversations that I know we're going to get into. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get into it.
Yes. Okay. Let's get into it slowly. So you said you are in the season of living your best self, living your best life, and doing the things that bring you joy. So what does that include for you?
What that is for me is no longer allowing my joy to be tied to productivity, to be tied to being in service to others. And over the last 4 years, I have been doing an internal review on myself and also reflecting on how I show up for others and probably also had not even probably also needing to address the way that my mother built and raised me too, to really get to understand where I was void of joy.
Yeah.
Right? Performing, providing for others, but not necessarily having my internal joy that isn't tied to being in service. So that's where it started. And for me, the joy it's not a self-care type of thing. It is an internal thing for me. It is sometimes no being the final answer, not over explaining myself. Right?
Yeah.
Feeling confident in who I am as Jamila the woman without leading with titles, without stating all the accolades, right? Being joyful and just being, because so many of us Black women don't get an opportunity to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that, like, the joy doesn't have to be, and this is no shade to anyone that like, oh, my joy is connected to self-care, because you can do that, but also the joy in no being a period and a full sentence, a paragraph, a book.
That
Close
part.
it, put it on a shelf.
Yes. Because I feel like joy is when my life feels like mine again. Right? Not something I have to manage, prove, or justify. So joy is a felt experience of being allowed to exist, right? To choose, to rest, to desire, to enjoy. But so many of us, we don't get that ability. We watch it in others, but we don't get it for ourselves. And joy has become relational for me and not emotional, if that makes sense. So like relational to like my time, my worth, obligation, and even my own self-trust, which is what the basis of the Win Some Wine Some community is all about, is having a space where we can just show up and be our whole ass self.
Yeah.
you know, and get closer to our joy in community too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So,
and I like that you said be your whole ass self. Like be your whole self. Bring every nook and cranny and crevice and up and down and frown and cry, tear, bring
whatever.
all of that to the
Whatever
space.
is needed,
Mm-hmm.
whatever is required at this
Yeah.
time for you. But having a space, the Winsome Wine space, I know we're going to get deeper into that. I think we have had many spaces curated for us to come and emotionally dump, for us to trauma bond, for us to connect on pain, sorrow, hurt, right? Yet there's this uncomfortableness that comes about when you shift that conversation to happiness, joy, love, desire, passion, because it becomes uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? So I have had women in community literally say they can't be in community anymore because they are not in a space to receive the joy that's being provided in the group, because they are looking for they're looking for a space to connect, maybe on something a little bit more traumatic or having a dumping ground, opposed to having deeper than surface connections.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, we're in a space too where people are void of communication. They are refusing to communicate. They will go ghost. They'll, you know, they'll act like nothing's wrong. But we have to have spaces where we can converse, and it isn't about negativity. It's about us showing up, being our whole ass selves, because a lot of us also are masking for a majority of our day. We're working a 9 to 5. So we need more spaces. We need more joy. We need more sisterhood.
Yes.
We need more aligned community. But there's a place for that type of community that I mentioned. But the community that I'm building is not our founding bricks. And it will be uncomfortable for you.
Yeah.
If you're not ready.
If you're not ready, and that the joy, as you talk about the joy, like a thing that brings me so much joy is Baddies with Business and the retreat and this space here, the podcast, because it started to showcase the stories and journeys of Black women entrepreneurs. And I think about like growing up in North Carolina, sitting on the couch, sitting outside on the porch with some tea and lemonade and just talking, and the joy that comes from that. And even, you know, in some of them lies that are being told, there's still some joy.
There's still some joy now.
There's still some joy.
We didn't say that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, it's some joy up in that thing.
Right.
So yeah, I love this. I'm also, and we're going to get to this a little later. First, you want to know about, you know, your venture, your business, but that is why I'm also excited for you to be at the retreat this year, because
I'm super excited.
That joy is there, and I think you're going to take that joy up like 10 notches, and it's going to be great.
Yes.
So baddies, buckle up. We're going to talk about the session, but first, win some, wine some. Can you tell us all about it? Like, what was the catalyst for starting it? What do you all do? And share a little bit more with the community.
Okay, so I created the Winsome Winesome community in 2021. The catalyst for the community was that I had paid to be in another container, where I was under the impression that that was more focused on Black women entrepreneurs building community, while building a business. Yet when I got inside, it was kind of like a bait and switch, and I was kind of locked in for a year period. But what I learned, and so I may not have received what I thought I was, but it did give me the seed to plant Winsome Winesome, because there was other women in the group that were desiring the same type of connection piece that I was looking for while building out my business.
Yeah.
So that's where it stemmed. It literally stemmed from me just doing a virtual happy hour. Then it rolled into me doing more gatherings here locally in the Baltimore area.
Yeah.
In the DC area. And then it just started to roll. And I started to realize like this works. this works because this is a space where we literally come into a happy hour, virtual happy hour. We show up as our whole ass self.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Camera on, camera off, juice, wine, coffee, water, whatever. Right. We come in to either absorb the goodness, right?
Mm-hmm.
To share the goodness, to be in conversation, to agree to disagree. But I guarantee you that each and every woman that's ever came in the experience, they return.
Yeah.
That's a definite. But they also invite other women that they know that can also enjoy the space, and they build their own connections inside of this community. And
Mm.
that's what I have always wanted and have envisioned for myself to lead Black women in community, or better yet, not even lead, to create the space for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's no leading in it. It's just creating a space where there is where I'm specifying what we're not doing here.
Yeah.
I'm so extremely clear on what it isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it has opened the door to blossom into so many amazing things. And like I said, the women inside are Black women professionals over 40.
Mm-hmm.
They have done the things.
Yeah.
They have climbed the ladder. They have broken glass ceilings. They've raised
Mm-hmm.
kids, supported partners, right? Yet they are now also in a season where they're looking to find themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking for something deeper than surface interactions with people. They are wanting real friendship.
Yeah.
So I always tie it back to what I saw being an 80s baby, being a teenager in the 90s, and then an adult in 2000s. What was happening for sisterhood that I envisioned with my mother and
Mm-hmm.
her friendships, and how tight those women were up until her death, and even after those same women check in on me, they had such a bond,
Yeah.
right? And have always wanted that. Always wanted that type of experience. And then even tying in shows that we used to see. Living Single lives rent free in my head all the
Yeah.
time when I think about Black women friendship on
Mm-hmm.
a screen for us to witness
Yes.
without the derogatory or negative implications. It was a good time there. Though
Yeah.
they were professionals, they had it going on, and they were good girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really where the catalyst was, being in a container, paying that money, finding
Mm-hmm.
out like, well, not yet. We can build
We
something.
can build something.
We can build something. And it's been growing. I launched a membership last year. I since closed it because I want to revamp it and I want to make it even juicier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been good. It's
Yeah.
been good. It lights me up. It makes me feel good to be in that space too. It feels good. I love it.
Yeah. I can tell because you're beaming, and you can
Thank
hear,
you.
for those who may not be watching us, you can also hear it,
Thank
in
you.
your voice. So
Thank you.
continue to do it. And
I
the
love it.
juicier it is, it's gonna come
Hmm.
back, and it's just gonna be
Even
so
better.
delectable.
Yes. I receive it.
Yes,
Hmm.
receive it.
Yes. Okay.
I want to shift a little bit and think about some celebrations. So, oftentimes, kind of, you named this to an extent that we, as Black women business owners and entrepreneurs and professionals, we oftentimes are in this space around, like, we're reflecting on what didn't work, we're trying to fix something, and then we kind of push celebration to the back
Hmm.
burner unless
Hmm.
it's something big. And so
Right.
I want to pause and, give you this space to celebrate, three things about your venture, about your journey, to date, that you want to kind of bring the community in on to celebrate.
Oh, well, I love that, honey, because I'm all about us bigging ourselves up. We need more of that. I'm with it. I'm with it. Well, the first thing that I would love to celebrate is the fact that I have stayed true to it, even when the vision wasn't always clear. So I am someone that will create, even when I can't fully see it, yet I can feel it. And I leaned in and I stayed with this idea. And it has shifted form, but it has shifted and gotten better. So that is one thing. The ecosystem itself, my Win Some Wine Some ecosystem itself, that is something I would like to celebrate going into year 5 this year.
Mm.
So I'm super excited about that. For myself, taking myself more damn serious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super excited about that because that has allowed me to remember when I didn't, because
Yeah.
in my current state, that is no longer true.
Mm.
So I gotta applaud myself with that. And then let me tell you something else. I've been hitting this damn gym because when I'm on your stage, honey, I'm
Yes.
going to be on point. Okay. When
Okay.
I'm in that room with them women, because we gotta hike a little bit too. Okay. Now I'm a
Okay.
walker. I like a good stroll, honey. I even call it my whole stroll, my hoka stroll with
Yes.
the with my honeys. But I need to make sure that, take better care of my vessel.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm proud of that too. Detaching from societal norms and all the junk and just loving this Jamila and all that comes with her. So that would be number 3. Is a really, I'm 10 toes down with me.
Yeah.
And I remember when I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the confidence that has came from the try and fail
Yeah.
too of a business, because that is something that we have to be honest with. We try, we fail,
Yep.
but that is only the proof that we started,
Mm.
right? Because you can't fail and you can't win until you
You gotta
start something.
try. Yeah.
You got to try it.
You gotta try it.
So I want to apply myself on that. So that's 4. I gave you a little extra.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, these are all
Yeah, thank you for
incredible
that.
things, continuing the journey, trying and failing, and also being a gym girl again, that little walk on, because we will be doing a little hike, a little walking in the elevation, some little
Yes.
heavy breathing. Thank you for the heavy breath.
Okay.
But we gonna have a good time,
Yes, I'm
and
super
I
excited.
love that, and I love how the things you celebrated weren't specific to, oh, I had this benchmark goal that I was setting. It was like, no, you're going to the gym. I walked.
Yes.
I tied up my shoes. I got out the
Okay.
door. I lifted some things, or I got on that
Yes.
treadmill, or I just moved my body. Moving your body. That is exercising. So I love that.
Yes.
I love that.
I think that one of the most joyful thing that I do for myself is keep the commitments that I make with myself.
Mm-hmm.
We often break our own commitments, right? Due to maybe a lack of motivation or doing something for someone else. But us staying committed to what it is that we said we're going to do for self, it's dangerous when you start to do it. It's dangerous because you start to see what you really are capable of.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you also see the people and the things that serve you and that do not serve you.
Boom. Boom. You can find, you see
right
where
there.
you're aligned, right? You know where you're aligned and when you're not.
Uh-huh. And you say,
shift.
oh,
Yep.
oh, okay.
Yep. And yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Necessary.
Oh, it definitely is necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we are thinking a couple months from now, we are going to be in sunny Denver at the 6th annual Baddie's of Business Retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And you are one of our incredible speakers for our business track. Now, something you talked about just a couple seconds ago was around, trying something and failing. And these business tracks is something that we're trying new this year.
Okay.
Because we have 20 speakers. And something that I've noticed in the past is that the Baddies love to be in a community and they love to be with entrepreneurs who are at different places.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed that they wanted to be in community. They never said, oh, I want to be with someone who's also 5+
in the same
years.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I picked it up. And so this is something I'm trying that may fail, but we're trying it to see if the Baddies like it. And so you are going to be gracing the Baddies who are in the sustaining track that are 6+ years in business with an incredible session with this title, Cape Down Joy Up. Okay.
Yes.
So can you share a little bit more about, one, that title is fire, but
Okay,
then
thank you.
two, what the baddies who will be participating in your session expect?
Okay, so the Cape Down Joy Up situation is going to be I wish this was something that I thought of sooner. Because one of the things that we don't discuss a lot is the weight of the capes that we wear
Mm,
because we're wearing them. Okay. No, regardless of whatever we're saying, we are wearing them. Okay. So we don't have a lot of conversation about the type of cape that we're wearing. And sometimes we're wearing multiple. So I really focus the Cape Down Joy Up workshop on 5 capes: the caregiver, the mask of strength, the fixer, the emotional support, excuse me, and the overachiever. And what I do is, if you remember earlier, I mentioned that, watching TV, in
yep.
the 90s and stuff, I tie them to nostalgic actresses from shows that we watch, right? Because what we may have visualized at that time versus what it really was is something different, right? So I tie each cape that I mentioned actually has a actress like assigned to it. So like for Florida Evans, I have the caregiver
Mm,
because she loved hard.
yeah.
She loved hard and served even harder, if we're honest, right?
Yes.
But we didn't see that that was a caregiver. We kept framing that as her being a strong Black woman and raising her family. And you know what I'm saying? Opposed to acknowledging a sacrifice,
So
right?
neat.
Because in that show, we equated, or some that we had learned that love meant sacrifice,
Mm,
right? Um, so those are kind of the ways that I tie it to a memory, and then also go deeper so that we understand what that cape actually cost us in wearing.
whew.
Because it's important.
Mm-hmm.
It's important, and we have to be honest about it too. We have to. We got to be honest about what we actually acquire by wearing the capes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because there is a power almost of being able to come in and fix it. You know what I mean? Being able to come in, be this mask of strength when someone's down. There are those things that come along with it. There's also
Mm-hmm.
the things that come along with feeling like you're the only person that can do it.
Look.
That burnout and stuff isn't like doesn't exist for you, but you're
Mm-hmm.
literally in it.
You're in it.
You're in it. So it's like we not understanding what it cost us to show up in the ways that deplete us and don't leave room for us
Yeah.
is us being so dismissive to ourselves, right? So dismissive, yet we're unclear on why we're void of joy.
Mm,
And when we're building a business, right, the lines become even more blurry because culture tells us hustle, 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 do all these things, do all this, right? So you're pretty much forced back into this role of productivity. The focus is productivity. So you may have a caregiver cape on the same time you have an overachiever on,
mm-hmm.
right? That gets heavy, and it doesn't always allow for the idea that you're passionate about to expand fully because you are still overproducing, focus on productivity, wearing these capes and showing up for other people, that you don't have anything left for you. Or whatever you do, it's no longer passion. It's now necessity.
Mm,
And we have got to get out of that. Too many of us already do things out of necessity, right? But we have very minimal things that we are passionate about that we give energy to.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Because you're like, I should be doing other
Oh,
things, and I
it's
could
always
this, that, and the
it's
third.
always
Ooh.
it's always I should. When we are seeing someone else, we will say, well,
Mm-hmm.
she was just holding her family together. If you're talking about
Mm-hmm.
Florida Evans, that's how we
Yep.
saw it, right? So we even excuse our own behavior.
Yeah.
So it's like
Ooh.
we have to really look and think about those the things that have been passed down to Black women to carry, to hold, to move forward with. We have to really look at, is it beneficial, or is it because you have been official? And that is because it's different.
Mm-hmm.
When you are beneficial to people, it's different. There's a different relationship.
Yeah.
But when they know that you have beneficial, regardless of whatever's going on with you, that's different too.
Mm.
So again, a part of the workshop and even what we do inside communities have this type of conversation.
Yes. And it's needed. It's needed. This makes me think of,
excuse me,
because I'm like, ooh, we could stay here all night. But this makes me, I want to make one point, because when you were talking about the fixer, so I was a Shonda Rhimes, Shonda Lane girly when, it was on TV.
That's Scandal now.
And yes, I'd be like, Mama, don't talk to me between these hours because I'm watching. I would go through Grey's, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, faithfully. Okay.
Got
faithfully.
you. Mm-hmm.
And so recently I rewatched Scandal. And
one,
it was scary how we're living in those times. I'll just leave it there. 2,
caught it.
Just like navigating and observing and also feeling the journey that Olivia went on. And by the end, she was broken, but then she put herself back together, and then she just found this joy, and it's like, I'm gonna just do my thing. And so that makes me think about like the journey, the hat, her white hat, putting it down. I got to find something that serves me. I know I made all these mistakes. I was in, it was a different version of me. This is the version of me now. But yeah, that made me think of like that fixer and just how exhausted she became and tired. And people expected more of her, of like, what are you going to do? And she's like, I have nothing. I have no answers. I am not sure.
But so many episodes of that, she was wearing multiple capes.
Yeah.
Right? Very rarely did we see Olivia ever have an opportunity to break down. And when she did, when was it? By herself, with a glass of that wine.
And the popcorn.
Okay, and the popcorn. Maybe with one of the men that she allowed herself to have some sort of emotional attachment. But if you even think of the show itself, there was not the good girlfriend. There, like she had the people she worked with, the team, but we didn't see outside of the production, her productivity. And that's what everyone else saw, is how good she produced, how she fixed, how she came, and she was stoic. And how many of us were raised like that? How many Black women listening to this right now were raised just like Papa Pope told her 10 times better, right? To be stoic even when things are breaking, to never look like what you're going through. How many, you know what I mean? There's so many things we can rattle off. That have not been beneficial to us. But it's allowed us to be official to others. A lot of those, when we go back and look at those shows, I just told my friend Ashley about Sex and the City. And looking at Sex and the City, and at one time we glorified these women of this friendship, just like girlfriends. And they were the messiest damn group of friends. They weren't even good girlfriends.
They were not good friends.
But we keep tying ourselves back to that era and realizing that wasn't, when you really start looking at these characters and who they really were, now with the lenses that you are not 20-something, you 40-something, you not 20-something, you 30-something, and you're realizing like, yeah, there were so many red flags. But when you're not in community and not sisterhood, and you don't have the real and raw friends, then this is what we believe friendship is. This is what we believe that we have to do. We have to wear the capes like Olivia to get the respect and stuff that we want. Right? It's a falsehood, but it's also what they believe Black women are too. When we're in these workplaces, when, you know what I mean? When the caregiver, even when you're at work, the fixer, even when you,
all the
So a
time.
lot of times we don't get to even take the capes off.
Yep. Yes, yes. Speaking of capes off, I want to pause for a moment to give some flowers to some baddies in your life who
Oh.
have taken their capes off and lifted your joy
Oh.
in the times you need it. Inspired, encouraged, supported. And you don't have to name them by name if you don't want to, but you
Uh-huh.
can. But let's give them their flowers.
Yes.
Just
I
bring them
love
some
that.
joy.
So let me tell you something. I got a team of some honeys. I call them my girlfriends. They're my honeys. Even the women
Mhm.
in my community, I refer to them as my honeys.
Yeah.
And I have been so blessed to have a group of women that I aspire to be like in some way.
Mm.
I have a good girlfriend. Her name is Robin. She's a photographer. She's fabulous. And she also is so rooted in her faith,
Mhm.
right? So I aspire to be like that, to have, like, she has the faith and belief. And I know, like, ooh, when I need that, she's going to
Mhm.
she's going to sprinkle it.
Yeah.
Right? My friend Veronique, another amazing woman. She's an advocate. She is all about keeping DEI at the front line of things. Um, Hilarious too. We have great conversation. We do a lot of voice notes. So that I have so many. My sister Khadijah.
Mhm.
I talk to her probably the most, and we have great conversations. The
Mhm.
laughing. They are all of the women in my life are supportive. I mean, I have so many. Burdette, Lisa, um, man. Oh, I have so many
Yeah.
women, and now I have to state out loud. Like, I remember when I would say, like, I want all these great girlfriends. I want these
Mhm.
mature relationships, because
Yeah.
I also have my tried and true girlfriends, who Priscilla
Mhm.
and Tasha, that have known me since childhood. You know what I'm saying? And I've always wanted to have these mature relationships that I saw with my mom.
Mhm.
And I remember when I thought I didn't have that,
Yeah.
right? Because, we like to notice void before we notice what we actually have. And
Mhm.
sometimes the void that we're noticing is the acceptance from someone else that you want to befriend,
Yeah.
and that disconnection. You know what I mean too? So
Mhm.
I also have had to check myself in that when it comes to friends, sidebar of that. But yes, like, my honeys have lifted me when, I mean, losing my parents, my nephew,
Mhm.
my very close best friend. Um, they have been at my highlights. They have done my branding sessions.
Mhm.
They have sat on the phone with me,
Yeah.
right? Laughing, tripping. Um, it is a different season
Mhm.
now for me. And I'm
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for the women that I call friend.
Mhm.
Really and truly. Really and truly. Because they make it easier for me to show up and provide my offerings too. They really do. They really do. It's different when you have people that really rock with you, because they see you, you see them. It's a different, like, the conversations we have. Every woman that I listed, we will get on a call right now, and they're not even all close, but we can all jump on a call and be talking and chatting, because, like, like, they all have that aura about them.
Mhm.
It's just though these women are different.
Yeah.
These women are different, and they just show me how good life can get
Mhm.
if I believe, if I keep my faith, if I keep leaning in, keep being true to myself. That's what the women in my life show me.
Mm.
Mhm.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
love that. So hopefully each and every one of them that
Mhm.
they listen and they feel that love, that joy,
Mm.
and I'm sure they're gonna send it right back to you.
Yes, they
The
always
group
do.
chat is gonna be lit up, okay?
Okay, and they
The
always do.
It's gonna
They're
be
good.
lit up.
They're good women. Good women.
Yes, that's
Good
incredible.
women.
So, in thinking about, I know you mentioned with Win Some, Wine Some that you had paused the community and you are kind of marinating on something good. And so I want to now invite you to share, where do you aspire for Win Some Wine Some to be in the next 2 to 3 years, and how can the community that is listening right now support you from the time that the words come out of your mouth? How can they support you?
All right, so I am claiming and declaring that the Win Some Wine Some ecosystem will be a multi-million-dollar ecosystem. I will have my Joy Sanctuary, which is the membership element, along with 2 coaching containers that I'll be doing. One is literally called Girl Stop Giving a Fuck. And the other one, this is really based on unraveling Black women's connection and attachment to productivity and void of joy. And it is not, this isn't about being more productive. This style of coaching that I'm going to be doing is conversational. This is not prompting. This isn't that. Because the women that are going to be drawn to this program, they will see themselves in what the framework is expressing, how the framework is actually done. And what this is really about the internal shift.
Yeah.
And that is coming from my own lived experience, the internal shift in myself, to unravel. And literally, when I started to pull the thread of that productivity that's attached to our value, worth, and all the things that we're told, I realized a lighter and gentler self. So I cannot wait for my honeys to get that, to see that, and to get into that container. In the interim, though, once those things become live again, what I am doing, I will still be hosting my virtual happy hour. We will have one at the end of this month. The way to get into all the juice, all the juiciness that's inside of the community, is to get on the newsletter list. We have great conversation in there. And then we meet at least monthly virtually and have another great conversation. And I also do local gatherings too, because in-person energy exchange is a vibe too. Getting out and getting around is a different vibe. So I definitely encourage everyone to please, if you are a Black woman looking for a space to show up with all your style, your grace, while leaving all that extra stuff to the side. You want to build bonds minus the BS. The Win Some Wine Some community is where you need to be. Get on the email list, and you're gonna love it here. You're gonna love it. It's a good time.
And how do they get on the email list, and how can they find you on the interwebs?
Ooh, okay. Well, to be honest with y'all, I'm in a little social, I don't know what we're going to call it right now. I'm trying to figure out exactly where I want to land, but I am active on LinkedIn. Haven't been probably since the holiday time, and I'm fine with that, but y'all can find me on LinkedIn. And also, I will ensure that we have a link associated with the podcast so that they can click that link and get right on the email list.
Wonderful.
I'm not emailing y'all like a whole bunch. I email like good stuff, good conversations, even the things that I find on the internet that I think that are beneficial to us to be able to know about. It's a good time. You're going to want me in your inbox.
I love it. I love it.
You're going to want me in your inbox.
So you mentioned how you're on LinkedIn. I just want to let the baddies know that hopefully if you're listening to this episode the week that it drops, Jamila will be taking over the Baddie Business LinkedIn with a special live event. And I'm sure we can have it as a replay.
Yes.
Baddies and community can go back to that. But just stay tuned for that. Okay.
It's going to be good. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a good time. Yes. And I'm also excited for everything you shared with your coaching and how you're building the community across the next 2 to 3 years. So baddies and community, activate. You know what time it is.
Come on.
Do the virtual happy hours. All those things is going to be incredible.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have come to the close of this episode. It has been a joy to have you. And here, around Baddie Land, we close like a good Southern Baptist with a Baddie benediction. Okay? And so, for those of you who are listening, if this is your first episode, Benediction is how we close out the church, okay? It is a blessing. It is a blessing to send you on your way. The doors of the church will then open and you will go into the world. And so, Jamila, what is your Baddie benediction? It can be a poem, a quote, a song, a prayer. But how do you want to close out your episode?
That is, first of all, I love that. I freaking love that. Okay, so, dang, I'm torn.
Doing both.
Doing both. Because we could close it out with some music, which I always love. So let me go to what I go to when I'm getting myself pumped. One song that I absolutely love. Damn, so many, girl. You put me on the spot. I
And
was
it
not
could be like,
saying.
this the song, this the lyric. We're going to drop it in. And so they can listen after, you know.
Okay, let me think. One song that I absolutely love is Kanye, but it's old Kanye. It's
Okay.
old Kanye. Okay, it's college dropout Kanye that we really bang with Kanye. Okay, so one song that I listen to all the time is "Never Let Me Down." That is like one of my favorite songs. Back again when Kanye was one of us. I don't know, but I love music. So music is something that I use often to shift energy. And another thing is Neville Goddard. If I can't say anything else, Neville Goddard's teachings, I have his books, the shift of my mindset by being able to retain and to put into action what I'm learning and understanding has shifted how I see my reality. Right? So the one thing that I would say is find your own personal practice that's just for you, right? And it needs to be specific to you. You may not be the affirmation girl. You may not be the Neville Goddard girl, right? You may just be the woman that gets her hands in the dirt, into nature, gets outside, right? Takes her moments to breathe, but find that connection to self, because that's what I do. I use what I'm learning and I sit with it, with myself, right? And get comfortable in your silence, honey. Your silence is powerful. Your silence is powerful. So much will be shown to you if you keep it shut. So much. That's what I got.
Yay! Thank you for listening to another episode of Baddies with Business. It's been great to have you. I hope you've learned something and gained some new insight. Check out the show notes to find out more information about the featured baddie. Go give them a follow and continue to support Baddies with Business by visiting www.baddieswithbusiness.com. Also, you can follow Baddies with Business on social media, on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Baddies with Business. We look forward to hearing from you soon. If you want some behind the scenes and to check out the clips, consider being a Patreon. Information in the show notes. Thank you, and continue to be bad, be bold, and be a baddie.